What's up guys, Joe here from Aspire. Big thanks to my buddy Steve for letting me do this car for today. As you guys saw, it is in fact a Tesla Model X. So excited to do it for today. We're out here in lovely Deer Park, Washington, getting some good shots in the wheat fields, playing around in it. But hey, sit back and enjoy the video. I think you guys are really gonna like it. 2020 Tesla Model X. Car that speaks for itself. As you can see, Falcon doors are probably my favorite part of it. It's just such a cool feature. I haven't seen them, since like the DeLorean and other cars like that. Really cool, unique piece. Again, there's not a whole lot to tell you about this car. It's one of those things where you just got to experience it, and that's what we're going to be doing. Got your charging port here, built into the taillight there. And then we have our trunk space here. Now this vehicle seats 4, but with the capability of seating up to 6. So you got your 2 seats back here, and with the press of a button, find it, pop up just like that, and you got your 3rd row seating, which I think is really cool, kind of being this far back into the vehicle. And then to put them down again, it's kind of this invisible button here. You just push it twice, pops the headrest down, and you got your storage space again. So very cool. And of course, in Tesla fashion, we got the button. Takes care of it for us. This side of the car is pretty much the same. I love this really cool, I don't know if you can get a good shot of this paint here, but it's got this really cool like blue flake, metallic flake in with a really cool paint job. I thought that was a really nice touch because kind of from an outside it looks like a gunmetal gray, but as soon as you start getting close to it, you realize that there's some blue in there, and I think that's a really cool feature. I'm curious to know what the actual name of the color is. As far as the interior goes, we'll get more into that later, but it's a very nice like suede type material with this wood paneling. I think that's a really nice touch. And then again, it's a battery powered car, so we got all this trunk space here in the front as well, but that has to be unlocked from the inside. So again, not going to do a whole lot of talking, but just want to give you guys kind of a quick overview, and we're just going to drive it and show you guys the cool stuff it has, because there's a lot. So here we are in the Tesla 2020 Tesla Model X. My brother Josh helped me out for today, and we're just cruising around. Yeah, kind of getting right into it. This is my first time driving an electric car, so the first thing I notice is like there's no motor sound, and all you hear is tires and air. So that's definitely something that you have to get used to. But yeah, I mean, this thing, and then another thing too is there's no transmission, so it's all go. When you hit the pedal, you don't have to downshift. It's go. It's like you're being abducted by aliens or something. It's kind of an odd feeling, but very smooth ride. And like we're about to get on the highway here, and it's no problem. Like, yeah, you just get on it, and then you just barely ease into the pedal, and you're up to speed right now. And you're up to speed of traffic. So that factor is nice too. The ride is really cool. It feels really smooth. It doesn't feel like I'm driving a cheap electric car. It actually feels like I'm driving an actual car. As far as the interior goes, everything, like I said earlier, is pretty much suede and with the wood paneling accents, which I think really gives it that kind of high-end touch. And being a 2020 model, there is some beta things that they're doing with this car, one of them being the autopilot and the summon portion, because once we're on like a road like this, I can hit the switch in the back twice, set my speed, and it's gonna pretty much take control from there. You don't obviously want to like get in the other seat like you hear some people do, which is crazy, but you know, if you're just kind of chilling or want to show your buddies what your car can do, this is kind of one of those things that you can do. But yeah, and it even brakes for you too, like I'm not doing anything right now. And you can also adjust how far you want your car to stay from traffic, which I think is a really cool feature too. It's like, I was telling Josh, like this is something where I spent some time doing some research on it, and I still know like 40% of the car. Like there's so much to know. This car even has its own app, you know, like that's crazy. But no, I mean, this is definitely the coolest car we've done on Aspire so far. I hope to do more cars like this, but you know, who would have thought batteries could create, you know, like 600 wheel horsepower? To me, that's just insane from batteries. You know what I mean? Electricity. But yeah, I mean, as you can hear, I'm not talking super loud, but it is ultra quiet in here. And I think that's a really cool piece too, because, you know, even when you have the ride height set to a lower setting, it's still, you don't hear a lot of that road sound, which I think is really cool too. It's definitely a car you can have a conversation, and you could probably whisper and probably still hear each other. But another really cool thing too, which makes it pretty neat, because the windshield comes way back up to here, so you can like look straight up, literally. I think that's a really cool piece. It also makes the car feel more open, which I like that too, because you know, you get into like an eclipse or something like that, and you feel like you're like in a death trap or something. But yeah, this whole time the car's been driving itself basically. Like I said, there's so much to talk about this car, it's hard to know where to start. But I don't even know, man. It's crazy. This car is so cool. It's got so many features. You know, you can adjust all the suspension, you can adjust how it handles, you can adjust what kind of braking you like, you can adjust what kind of steering. I think we got it set, we got it set to sport steering right now, so that's going to make you feel kind of more connected with the road. It's even got this slip start feature, which helps to free the vehicle when you're stuck in like mud or snow and things like that. So that part's really cool. And on this display here as well, it tells you what the speed limit is, tells you where the stop signs are, it shows the vehicles, shows the lanes of traffic. It even shows garbage cans, like when you're going through residential, it'll show the garbage cans going by. I'm surprised they don't have like a little waste management symbol on the side of them, for crying out loud. But this car is borderline too high tech for me, but it's really amazing to see. Hey, hello fellow Tesla. It's kind of a thing. It's like, it's a community that I'm not really a part of. Yeah, that's again, like I said like multiple times, it's one of those things you just gotta experience. There's nothing quite like the experience of driving a car that doesn't make any sound. And yeah, but I mean, again, it feels like you're driving a normal car. The braking is nice. Yeah, I mean, it feels like you're driving a normal car, but it just doesn't make any sound. And it goes when you push the pedal, like it goes. There's no hesitation whatsoever. And everything is automatic. Like you can select which one is it? Driving. I mean, it's auto. It's in the quick control, but you can open all the doors and close all the doors without getting out of your car. The key itself, you can click it and open up the Falcon doors too, which is cool. And the Falcon doors themselves, you can have them open up normally, or if you're in a really tight area, you can have them open kind of like 45% of the way. Which is cool. And this is the only SUV to date to have a perfect crash safety rating, mainly because it has the best anti-roll features, due in part because of the low center of gravity because of the batteries towards the floor. So that's kudos to them for figuring that out. And along with that, I feel perfectly safe driving this car. You know, I'm not super sold on the autopilot thing because I'm just not to that point yet of fully trusting something like that. But you everything, like if you go to open a door and you barely bump it, it'll stop. Like this car is very, very tough to outsmart, really, and it's It's got so many sensors. It's got 2 sensors on each side, like under the mirror. It's got 2 sensors right by the side of the door. Sensors front and back. Again, like you'll see like little people on the display when there's people walking in front of the car. Like this car has eyes everywhere, and it's got lane departure assistance, all the typical stuff you see with most modern cars nowadays. But yeah, it's like driving a spaceship. Really, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of things I don't know about this car, but I wanted to do a video, kind of give you guys a basic overview. These cars do run. Again, this is the 2020, so it's brand new, but you can find Model X's anywhere from 80 to 100,000, so they're pretty pricey. But I mean, again, you do get what you pay for. This car is, I can't think of one thing I don't like about this car. And it costs about, I think it's $25 for a full charge. Full charge takes about 4 hours. That translates into about 5 cents per mile. And when you actually, because it's got the full map here on the display, so when you punch in, say you're going to Seattle or whatever, you punch in your display, it'll route you accordingly so you can hit charging stations. Because at least up here in Washington, there's not a whole lot of charging stations at the moment. But if you put your route into the map here, it'll plan your route to where you'll hit a charging station before you run out of battery, so you can stop, fuel up, or not fuel up, battery up, whatever you want to call it, grab something to eat while your car's charging. So I thought that's a really cool feature. I haven't played too much with the app, but again, like I said, they have the summon mode on the phone, which basically means you can have your car meet you outside, which is crazy to me. Your car will actually drive itself to a predetermined location where you set it, and you can push a button while you're having your coffee in your house or whatever, and your car will actually meet you outside. And of course, it's also got the backing assist or parking assist, or parking parallel parking downtown or whatever. But I don't know, it's just a cool car. There's, like I said, there's nothing I can say negative about it. It's got 3rd row seating for crying out loud, and yeah, and then you can put the seats down. You got tons of storage in the front of the car, which is weird for me to say, and then you just got storage in the back. It's not as great as storage in the back unless you put the rear seating down, but yeah, very cool car indeed. And you know, just because it's so modern, you know, you still gotta pull your blinkers to turn and stuff like that. You still got your windshield wipers. Can't talk. But you know, so there's a lot of modern aspects to this vehicle, but there's also some familiar aspects, like, oh, okay, you know, we got our wipers here, we got our horn. Where our wipers normally would be is where our shift is, so down, drive, up is to neutral and reverse, and then pushing it on the end is park. So, which I appreciate, because nobody wants to get into a vehicle and have absolutely no idea how to drive it. So the guys at Tesla did a good job at kind of keeping some things the same. Like, I'm surprised that the windows aren't automatic, which they're not. You have to push them manually, which I appreciate. You know, I think one thing that makes a car really special is the ability to have a modern component, but also a component that's familiar to, you know, that the driver has to use to make the driver feel engaged with the vehicle. So I think that's a really critical piece to the overall experience of a vehicle. And when you're talking a vehicle like a Tesla, which are still a relatively new brand on the market, I think they started in 2011 or 12, could be wrong, but you know, 10 years compared to, you know, Chevrolet or Dodge or Honda that have been around for decades, you know. So being pretty new to the game, I think they're off to a really good head start. But yeah, car is very cozy. I would highly recommend it if you got the money. I think it's definitely a car that'd be good if you're trying to save on money, because that 80 to 100 grand, yeah, is a lot initially for most people, but you know, it does pay for itself in the end, because you're gonna end up saving money on fuel, because you don't have to get fuel anymore, and it's just gonna be your electric bill, really. And the car is overall cheaper to drive, pretty significantly actually, when you factor it out. And it's got such good safety features too, that it's not like you know, you're compromising one way or the other. You're paying for what you're getting, basically, is what it comes down to. You're getting the 5-star crash safety rating, you're getting the fuel economy, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this car, this car pays for itself in the long run, and it's just fun to drive, you know. Electric cars, I was never a huge proponent for electric cars, but I don't know, all cars have their advantages and disadvantages. I personally would like to hear a nice V8 behind all this power, but with this, it's like being in a UFO or something. It just goes, and I think that's a really cool factor to it, because people think, oh, you know, what batteries, you know, you see electric cars that go 3 billion miles, but they only go like 30 miles an hour. No, this car, you can look at videos of this car beating I believe it's a Lamborghini Huracan in a quarter mile, and it's like, I think it would have been funny if they took like a whole load of groceries, put them in the back of the car, and then did the drag race of the full load of groceries just out of spite, and it would still probably win. But anyways, guys, that's kind of the overview of the car. I hope you guys stuck around long enough to see this part of the video. Again, please, if you did like the video, feel free to like it. I'm not that guy that's gonna say smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. Like, no, if you like the video, you're gonna like it. If you want to see more, you're gonna subscribe. You guys are adults, you guys can do that. Most of you are adults anyway. But yeah, thanks for watching. Feel free to comment down below any additional info that you guys figured out about the car that I haven't yet, because like I said, I know about 40% of this car. So please drop in the comments things that you thought were cool about the Tesla that you can share with me. Any other, you know, cars that you would like to see on the channel, because I'm always looking for cars to review. So you guys take it easy, and I hope to do another review very soon. Take it easy, guys.